Lord, we come to you now thankful, grateful to be gathered together, to have homes and a safe place to live, a community that loves and supports one another. Father, we thank these men and women who help to lead and organize our community. We pray your richest blessings on them for wisdom and strength and courage. We pray, Father, for a vision for the future, for hope for tomorrow. And Father, we know that all of those things are possible only because you are good and giver of good gifts. We pray, Father, that you will bless this gathering tonight, that solutions may be reached, that agreement may be found, and that, Father, we may better serve those of our community who are in need. And we pray this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Sure.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody see? Testing. Welcome. Good to see everyone here this evening. And like I told yesterday, we met a month ago with Monroe's come and gone. And we have representatives from Monroe's National Veterans here. At this time, I'd like to call for a roll call. Please sign in, please. David, our dentist brother, is out this evening. He had a tooth extracted today, and it's, he's been there and done that, so we'll excuse him for not being here tonight. Everyone, okay, Andy? 18 present. Thank you. Item number 5, approve the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve? We have no add-ons tonight that I'm aware of. Have a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Diane, and a second by Jackie. Discussion? There being none, let's vote, please. Yes, thank you. Item 6, review and approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. You have those. Motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
So moved. A motion by Mr. Kelly, second by Major Shelton. Discussion? There being none, let's vote, please. Yes, thank you.
Number 7, resolutions of memorial, sympathy, and commendation. I don't have any for today. Number 8, elections, appointments, and confirmations. A, notaries.
Rush?
I'd be glad to make a motion to approve the notaries that are listed.
Second by Todd Crockett. Discussion? There being none, let's vote, please. Yes, thank you.
8B, sanitation board.
I'd like to thank Lee Duckett for his service on that board over the years. It's required by their guidelines that those serving on that will be commissioners. And the name of Major Shelton has been recommended for that. I recommend Major Shelton to you, so I'll submit that to you for confirmation. Have a motion? Motion by Jackie, the second by Mrs. Ford. Discussion? Being none, let's vote, please. Yes. Okay, thank you.
8C, Coffee County Library Board.
Commissioner, you have a recommendation on that from the Board of Trustees. You have the names in front of you. Mary Beth Parton from representing Lanham on that committee, Catherine Rose and Joe Todd from the and then recommendation for Pastor Ron Fuller to be the representative for the Manchester Library. Have a motion approved?
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Kelly with a second by Diane Argraves. Discussion? Let's vote, please. Busy. 18 yes, thank you.
8D, other. Anybody else have anything we need to do? Number 9, unfinished business. There being none. Number 10, new business. A, resolution 2017-21, resolution to adopt a public records policy for comprehensive.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Commissioner Brown, and that has been vetted thoroughly with the legislative committee. Our county attorney has reviewed and took second by Rosemary. She's also been in the audit process. So you have that in front of you, motion and second. Discussion. Yes, sir, Commissioner Dunn.
Well, I was going to say something that I think it's already been resolved and taken care of well, but I was at a seminar over the weekend for the city of Tullahoma and Tennessee Municipal League Conference, and they had a briefing on that same thing, and I do have handouts from that. Everybody, like to have a copy of it or something, but it was very interesting, and I think it's been very pretty good, I'm sure.
Very thorough. And CTAS was approached on that, and they made recommendations which Mr. Husky incorporated into this model resolution for the county and one for the treasurer deeds and trustee. Further discussion? There being none, let's vote, please.
TFB, budget amendments.
Marianne?
We have two. First one is 101, 2017-22. The explanation for this one is on page 2. This is an increase to the unassigned fund balance, $14,554. Second one is for the general debt service, 151, 2017-23. This was the refunding that we did earlier in the year. We increased the payments on our bonds for the jail. This is a decrease to unassigned fund balance, $20,817. These were both approved by Budget and Finance on June 6th.
Thank you, Marianne. Do you have a motion to approve? So moved by Commissioner Rickey, second by Commissioner Kelly. That was thoroughly vetted and reviewed last week. Now, for Marianne, do a good job as always in doing that. Discussion. There being none, let's go, please.
budget of Coffee County, Tennessee for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2018.
Thank you. Of course, that will be voted on in 2 weeks from now. And I'll open the floor for any discussion on the budget as presented. Mr. Britton.
I'll get started on this. I hope everyone's had a chance to review the preliminary budget report. Mariana and her staff, certainly I think have done a great job in getting the budget to this point. And I want to certainly thank all the department heads in submitting what I think are fair budgets. And the Budget and Finance Committee, overall, budget process, I think, went real well. We had good debates. You know, we had to tweak it here or there, but we're here tonight, and I certainly hope to have answered any questions. And because we've got 2 weeks before we'll vote on this budget, and I certainly hope this commission will pass the budget in 2 weeks. Budget Finance committee will meet again next Tuesday and take any input from the night's meeting and any other items that might come up and make any, or recommend any final adjustments to this budget. But overall, Marianne has written up a pretty nice preamble to this report that I hope each one of y'all have read. It talks about some of the major issues that kind of went into this budget. Overall, and the good news is it doesn't include a tax increase. Of course, I always will say the bad news, it doesn't have a tax decrease. So I think commissioners have been around a long time. Certainly, anytime we don't have an increase is somewhat of a victory. So I will take that as a very positive at that point. But you can look at it on page 1 of the budget is the tax rate. Depending on where you live in the county, your tax rate in the uniform area, primarily Tullahoma, will be $2.85, Manchester $2.93, and the rural areas of the county $3.24. And if you own or have property out in the industrial park, you'll be paying $3.52. So, of course, you can see the numbers. That raises somewhere around $31 million in taxes for the various operations of the county. The biggest component, and I'm sure the schools will talk about that when they talk about their preliminary budget in a minute, but we are sending $16.5 million to the school systems in the county. That is plural. County, Tullahoma, and the city of Manchester all share in that $16.5 million. But the general operating funds of the county is $20.6 million. Those are the various departments of the county, of the operating departments. All the departments, the clerk's offices, the sheriff's, the jail, building departments. You can go through all 26 pages and look at them and understand where that $20.6 million is spent. Of course, the biggest component of that, we all know, is the jail, $4.8 million. We do have an offset with state prisoners that generates $1.8 million in revenue. So the net cost, if you want to use that term, is $3.5 million to operate the jail. That's up by $200,000 from the prior year. You can do the numbers depending on what the sheriff's population is. Just operating the inmates fund, just the operation doesn't include debt service on the building, overall administration from the sheriffs and all other costs. That runs about $13,000 to $14,000 per inmate. So I'm sure you would almost have to double that if you put debt service and everything else on it. So it's a $25,000 to $30,000 per inmate cost, which we all enjoy talking about. After that, the next largest department is the Sheriff's Department, $2.9 million. That budget is almost virtually the same as last year, so no increase there. I'm just covering the large ones. The 2 libraries in the county run combined about $1 million. And then after that, most of the other departments fall under that. All the fee offices generate enough fees pretty much to cover their own costs. So we thank them for their contributions to the general fund. With that, I'm sure we can talk about, EMS is always my fun one too. That's, I think, $2.5 million of the budget costs, of which we're contributing $500,000 in county taxes. The rest are paid by, the folks that have insurance and can cover their ambulance charges. So that's the other major operations. I think that just overall summarizes the highlights. I, any budget finance committee member, and Mary Ann and the mayor, would be glad to hear from anybody that has a question about a certain department. Did I miss anything, Mary Ann? All right.
Russ had to have one thing, just piggybacking on what you said. Mariana really does an excellent job at the writing explanation of the real changes to the budget. And that type of executive summary really helps know where to go look to see what's changed.
Thank you.
My compliments to her team as well, and to the 5 budget and finance committee members that have spent many hours in their very course of going through this line by line, each by each. I appreciate your efforts and all that. Any other comments? Yes, sir.
I did. I'm certainly, if you look at page 26, that's the recap of the general fund. You will see that without a tax increase and this the budget put together, we will be, I'm going to use the term, eating into the general fund of the county by $600,000. That's never a good thing. Half of that 600 is dealing with the personnel judgment lawsuit that we are facing, $300,000. And then the rest is just other operations. We certainly hope by this time next year, because you're always estimating, trying to be conservative about some of your revenue estimates. Hopefully they'll come in and offset some of that $300,000. But it leaves the fund balance at $2.4 million. A nice number, certainly better than some of us remember when it was in the $500,000 to $800,000 number, which for a county of our size to have a general fund that small is like no general fund. So the $2.5 million number is a reasonable general fund, but it isn't. This year's budget does go negative, so we certainly don't want that to be a continuing trend. We can't afford that, so or sustain that. All right.
Thank you. Any other comments regarding the budget as presented?
Mr. Mayor, there's been some discussion, and let's move on this time with Mariana, but moving 1 cent from general debt service to ambulance. And there's been some discussion in regard to that. I don't believe that's been done yet in the budget. And the reason I mention that, I feel that whatever we may talk about here or mention will be beneficial to budget finance in their last meeting, as Commissioner Brickey mentioned, before we finalize the budget. So I know as a member of budget finance, I would appreciate any input that anyone has to offer. And if we can elaborate on even a few of these items or things that we have discussed that are being considered, that maybe hadn't been finalized in here in the preliminary budget, I think it'd be beneficial to commissioner members. Budget and finance, we've seen quite a bit, but we'd like for all the rest of it to receive as much information as we can in regard to making the decision. So, Mary Ann, if you want to mention anything on that?
We did discuss briefly on page 31, the ambulance fund, which is Fund 118, the estimated fund balance at June 30th, 2018. You can see there is 174,000, almost 175. That's not adequate for cash flow. That needs to be about $300,000. Because, you know, July to pretty much the end of October, there's not any property tax revenue coming in. And they need at least $150,000 a month to maintain their cash flow and pay their expenses. So there is 1 penny in the debt service, the general debt service fund, that's on page, it's Fund 151, page 37. That we briefly talked about at last week's meeting, either using that penny for paying an additional $100,000 on the jail bonds. We already have an additional $100,000 in there, as I pointed out in the synopsis. We can use that. We can move that penny from general debt service over to ambulance service. That's one option we talked about.
I appreciate that, and I'd like to add that I do support doing that. And EMS and ambulance service is one of those services we provide to the county. And I think I'd like to recognize we try to determine what is a fair and reasonable cost for providing the quality of service that we do to people in the county. And of course, our ambulance service deals with emergency responses, and that's our primary objective and goal. That's what we want to give to the citizens. It's not the money side of the EMS services, of course, as most of you are well aware. But I think we have our costs under control there, much better than we have in the past. And I feel that we're putting a reasonable cost into that for benefits that our citizens derive. And it's never going to be a profit-making enterprise, but it is one of those services where we want to keep a fair and reasonable cost for the quality service you provide. So I do support moving this 1 cent to improve that line.
Other discussion?
I'll chime in on the EMS. I hope we're able to move the 1 cent over. We're going into next year. We really have 4 ambulances that we need to replace because we're pushing the 200,000 mile. We've got a couple over. I think we had 4 of them in for service with blown turbos in the last 2 weeks. So we've had some problems with those particular brand of ambulances. We're trying to move up to engines that don't give us that kind of trouble, give us reliability. And next year we're only replacing one of those 4 that we need to, we're hoping to replace 2 to stay with, keep the budget down. We can get by with 1, can't get by with less, but 1's in the budget. And this year we will have put emergency generators on hopefully by the end of the year, a little bit after, we'll have them on the Manchester station and one of the Tullahoma stations. So we do have power to the equipment to keep radios charged, to keep ambulances plugged in and all the batteries hooked up. We're running it pretty tight right now, but we're going to, part of this is if we move 1 cent over, we've still got to find another $50,000 to trim out of that budget. We'll be working on that this week.
Thank you, Mark. I would mention that in this discussion and negotiation, I think Andy's trimmed, say about 3,000 on that box. Is that correct? Andy? On that ambulance, about 3,000. 7,000 say. Good. Thank
Mr. Mayor, I want to comment a little bit on the emergency capital projects fund. Maybe some of the discussions been had there.
Okay, be glad to, or I could ask Mary Ann if she would dump it on her, but we discussed that and been prioritizing different requests on that. And I think you want to share that.
A few years ago, we designated 3 cents for capital projects and equipment replacement because what we were doing was we weren't looking in the future and replacing things as needed. We were spending a tremendous amount of money on maintenance. So that's what we started, and in the budget packet this year, it's actually on page 39. That is the general capital projects. That is funded by about 3.5 cents. The departments that have requested anything that was $5,000 or more fill out paperwork with their packets, their budget packets, and then the Budget and Finance Committee prioritize according to need. And that, what they approve, the committee is listed on page 40. Then on page 41, we have a rural education capital projects fund and a rural capital projects fund. It's hard to say. But the rural education capital projects fund, that was money that was set aside through the sales tax. The referendum that was passed in 2007, the increase on the county side, not necessarily the cities, was for school improvements, projects, equipment replacement, things of that nature. So on the top half, that is what this is for, and you can see we funded, recommended funding as far as the Budget and Finance Committee, the stadium improvements, I believe it's at the high school, middle school,
Yes.
and
River Academy.
purchase of 4 buses for $400,000. And then there's a couple projects that are some of those are being worked on right now in the rural areas. That's to extend water lines. So that's what that money has been set aside for. So those are a couple new things that has been done the last few years to hopefully get these needed projects done and not wait until we have emergency situations.
Thank you, Mary Ann, for that report, and we are in the process too of setting up another 100,000 as a contingency. In addition to-
Right, that's in the capital project fund. That is, you see it's budgeted as it just says other capital outlay restricted on page 39 under 799. That'll only be used if needed.
And Andy and I have been talking about, we have, as you know, a lot of aging or ancient HVAC units. And he's got an inventory, and we're going to be looking at some of those that are 20 plus years of age to see as to, I'm going to recommend we start beginning a scheduled replacement of some of those because they're very inefficient from an energy standpoint. And I think we just replaced one the other day at the Manchester Library, 20-ton unit went out. And it was 27 years of age. And anyway, but we'll report more to you on that later. Thank you, Mary Ann. Any other comments or questions?
D, general purpose school fund budget.
I'd like this time to recognize Dr. McFall as she released having, or we have questions on that, and I don't know what she may want to review or discuss, whatever. Appreciate y'all being here tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for allowing us to come and speak to you. And just want to offer some general comments, and then I will answer whatever questions you might, specific questions you might have about the budget. So I've been coming to you guys now for 5 years. You've had to look at my face and hear me ask for money. All 5 years that I've been here. And I realize that every department in their county has escalating costs over the last 5 years. We just spoke about $200,000 in new operational costs for our jail. We opened a middle school 2 years ago, brand new middle school. Didn't close the school, we added a school, and this commission gave us $0 in operational costs to operate that new school. It's hard when I talk individually with commissioners and I hear, I'm for education, I'm all for the teachers, I'm for you guys. Yet, time after time, and for the last 5 years, your votes have spoke volumes, and that's never been to increase our budget. It's very frustrating. If our state had not put some more BEP funds in, our teachers would not have gotten a raise in the last 5 years because there's been no local contribution toward teacher raises. We are a partner with the Sheriff's Department. Our board actually voted last night to donate a surplus special needs bus with a wheelchair lift, so to help them transport prisoners. We are a partner with them. And I know they speak with me and beside me when I say we have escalating costs at our jail that we need to address. And I can tell you how to do that, but you gotta make some sacrifices on this end so that our kids will see the benefit. And what that is to invest in our school system. I can take you into a first or second grade classroom, even a kindergarten classroom, and I can ask the teacher to point out which of their students will probably be customers to Sheriff Grade in that jail. And they can tell you in first, second, third grade. What I can't do, what I don't have the funds to do, is to intervene. And until we are really putting our money where our mouth is and intervening in the lives of these students and of these families, we're going to keep increasing the cost of the jail every single year. The only change really is going to be when we're able to lift our community and families in our community out of poverty. We need interventionists to do that. I had to cut 4 positions this year, 2 of which were interventionists who work with our lowest level kids. In addition to not receiving additional money from the county, we received a 17% cut in federal funding. And so that's about $200,000. And that's not a lot of money, yet to us in the school system it is. It's 4 positions. And so we lost a math coach. We lost intervention teachers. The mentality has to change. We talk about, I don't want to pass this debt along down to our grandchildren. We're just sort of kicking the can and the same problem on down to them as well. If we don't invest in our schools, I will guarantee you that the incarceration rate will increase accordingly. It's a proven fact in research. We need some social workers to help our families. We've got to intervene and show our families a different way to do things, to break the cycle of families and children who keep repeating that same cycle of following family members to jail and thinking that's their only path. We're accomplishing amazing things in our school system. We've gone from the bottom of the barrel in the region. I've shared that with you guys before, from 15th out of 16th. We're number 3 in academics now. We've increased our fund balance, doubled it in the last 5 years since I've been here. I'm a fiscally conservative person. However, I'm not a miracle worker, and neither are our teachers, even though it seems like that they are. The way to change a community is through its school system. The way to get new businesses to come here is to have a top-notch school system. The way to get families to come here is through an absolutely fabulous school system. We're doing everything that we can on our end to make that happen. We're being fiscally responsible with our money. We're using it wisely. We're looking at every purchase that we make. We're focusing on students. That's the number one question I ask myself. What's the best thing for students? And sometimes that is not what's easiest or most popular with adults. And I'm okay with that. I can take that as long as we're doing what's best for children. I spoke to the Budget and Finance Committee a couple different times, and I said to them, if I could offer you a way to invest back into your school system without having to raise property tax money, without having to ADA it to the other two school systems, would you be interested in that? So I'll ask you guys, is that something you would be interested in? Shake your head, yes. Yes. So one way that we can do that is through, we embarked upon this train project, and we were able to address exactly what Mayor Cordell was speaking about. We completely upgraded our infrastructure with heating and air, water, utilities, all of those things. And we're realizing thousands of dollars of savings, and grateful that this commission allowed us to do that. So we agreed, our board agreed, and we're happy to do that, to repay that money based on our savings. So we did this work, but we're not able to keep our savings to invest back in ourselves. So what I asked the Budget and Finance was to allow us to keep that money. You'll notice in your budget packet that you had, you'll see a payment of $275,000 back to the county, back to that rural debt service for train payment. That's money we have saved through that train project. We've saved that through our energy and utility costs. We're doing our share, we're giving that back. All I'm asking this commission to consider is to allow the school system to keep what we're saving. Invest back into ourselves. I think I have shown that we are wise in ways that we use our money. We invest back. We have done more work to our infrastructure in the last, since I've been here, that have been done in many, many years in the past. No one's fault, they just didn't have the money, but we've been speaking and pinching pennies and making it happen. We're replacing roofs. We're doing paving. We've paved, I think, every school. Henderson's being done right now. I haven't asked for new money for that because we're making it work. But I am asking to help us with our number one asset, and those are our people. So I would ask this commission, I do want to thank Budget and Finance for listening to me, for allowing, or for voting and allowing us to dip into that rural debt fund, which is for school improvements, and help us with the cost of our buses, and help us with the, it's actually not a stadium so much renovation as it is the parking lot area. It's where new tennis courts are. So we've got to do some regrading because when it rains, it just washes everything out. So I do want to thank you for that, but I would ask the commission to consider allowing us to keep that $275,000. It won't do anything to the tax rate. You do not have to ADA that out to the two systems, but $275,000 means a whole heck of a lot to the school system. So I'd ask that this commission consider that. I'm happy to answer any specific questions you may have on the budget. I can go over a quick summary. However, Mr. Mayor, you'd like me to proceed.
Please.
Okay. So, in terms of our revenue, we have additional revenue this year. Our BEP increased, and that was the governor's intent, was to put that money into personnel and personnel raises. He recognized that localities weren't willing or weren't able to step up and offer that. So he's put that in the BEP, and thankfully we're able to offer, hopefully, our employees a 2% raise with those increased BEP funds. We're looking to increase our sales tax, property taxes, about $212,000, a little bit over that. You'll see that the electricity savings due to the train project, and we also applied for and receiving TDA rebates. We're looking to increase our revenue about $275,000, which is the money that I'm speaking to you about. We redid our workers' comp insurance this year. We redid that out, and in doing that, we saved the school system, the county, almost $151,000. This year, we're able to realize extra money out of our textbook line because it's not a huge year for textbook adoption, which is a little over $100,000. We also revamped our dental and vision insurance, which saved us about $50,000, and we're decreasing our fuel cost about $37,000. We hope we're able to do that. You all know as well as I do that fluctuates. So we're looking at about a little over $1.7 million in extra revenue. And in terms of expenditures, a pay raise for our employees, and that's all employees, that's teachers and custodians and bus drivers and principals. So together with their raise and everyone receiving a step raise, it's a little under $1 million to do that. We have some new positions that we've had to put in for growth, and also we had to recover a couple of positions in our general purpose fund to make up for the $176,000. So that equals about $300. The state medical insurance is going up in January, and the state estimates that to be about 6.9, about 7%. So we split that in half because it's a half year. So we raised the medical insurance up a little over $350,000. Utility rates, even though we're saving money in utilities, the rates still do rise, so the amount we're saving will be less. So we added that in as a new expenditure of $89,000. And then additional contribution to the county for some train debt. Left us about $780,000 short. The Budget Finance voted to take the school buses and that renovation behind Raider Academy out of that rural debt fund, which we're very grateful for, and that was $650,000. So we're looking about at $130,000 shortfall in our budget. And so the commission would consider allowing us to keep that $275, that would obviously balance our budget and then give us a little bit of funds to bring back an interventions. And that's what I would ask the county to consider doing. I'll answer any questions you might have. I'll sit down off my soapbox also.
Comments or questions?
I'd just like to say she makes a pretty impressive.
She does. Yes, she does.
I'm working for our students, for our children. I'm going to do everything I can, even if it's hard and makes me uncomfortable, and unpopular sometimes.
And we thank you for working for our next generation.
And we do appreciate the fact that you have worked hard to maintain, I'll say as a percentage of your overall, the biggest cost is labor.
Right,
And
absolutely.
you've maintained your salary-related expenses at about the constant level for several years. And you've worked hard to do that, and it is very much appreciated.
Thank you, yes, we have. It's the biggest part of our budget, at about 87% of our budget, but it's the biggest asset that we have is our people. We are competing against two city school systems within our county that pay more than we do. We're competing against Murfreesboro City that pays more than we do. Rutherford County that pays more than we do. And we're still performing better than the two city systems, and we're gonna perform as good as the other ones in the next few years. But it is hard to compete with the discrepancy in the salaries. It is tough. And I don't blame teachers when they say I can go here and make $5,000 more. If you're 22 years old, that's a lot of money. So we're here for 22.
Comments or questions?
John, just a statistical question. The number of total staff in the school system, and of that, how many would be teachers?
Well, so classroom teachers, we're about 350. You add in guidance counselors and those things, and it takes it, I think, actually, I looked at this today to get it to say, I think it's around 380-ish.
In total county payroll number, total county residents?
I'm gonna guess, Lisa, you might have to jump in, 700, 750?
High 600s, of course, our payroll is more than that, 700, and it runs about 780. That includes all substitutes as well.
But if you look in full-time equivalents, it's not that high.
Correct.
And the number of students in the system this past, whatever your last census is?
We're at about 4467, and we actually are growing a little bit every year. And I just heard there's a subdivision going in at 105 and some things that they've alerted me to be prepared for. So we look for some growth in that Murfreesboro end of the county.
Thank you.
Other comments or questions? Yeah, I want to thank Dr. Fall for appearing tonight and making that presentation and for your leadership.
Would you like for me to very quickly, the cafeteria
Yes, ma'am.
budget is next on the agenda, if you'd like for me. So the cafeteria budget is the cafeteria food service department is standalone, meaning we don't contribute any funds to them. They are self-sufficient, and we, every year, we end up pretty much breaking even. We maybe realize $2,000 or $3,000 depending on charges that we have for students, but for the most part, we are self-sufficient in that area. So we do, in terms of revenues for the cafeteria, we're looking hopefully at $2.6 million. Expenditures, we're at about $2.7 million, which leaves us a little short. And if it ends up at the end of the year that we are indeed short, then they have money in their fund balance, to cover that shortage. But the federal government is relaxing some of the nutritional requirements that have been so stringent. So we feel like our revenues will increase as the taste of the food increases. I don't know that I always say that. So, but that is a standalone budget that does not require anything from the county or the state.
Comments or questions regarding the cafeteria budget?
And you are adding a summer program.
Yes, we have summer feeding, and wow, we have added, this summer, we're feeding breakfast and lunch at New Union, and then we are physically transporting breakfast and lunch to several sites around the county. We're actually feeding Manchester City schools. We're doing ESP. We're feeding the parks and rec camps that they have there, football camps, basketball camps. That's free to our kids. Anybody 18 and under gets a free breakfast and a free lunch, and it's all reimbursable from the federal government. We started, I think, day one at feeding like 70-some kids. We started when it was right out of school, so we wanted to kind of work out the kinks, but we're easily doubling that number by the second week. So, knock on wood, it's gone very well, very, very well thus far. So, yeah, we've gotten really good feedback. It's also helped some of our employees work through the summer and get some extra money.
Thank you for that summer feeding program.
I have one question. Do you have any feel on the relaxation of the food program that, under the new administration?
Not specifics in terms of, I think they're going to relax the salt requirements and also the requirements for things that had to be whole grain. Those are the two main things. I was at Hillsborough Elementary last week, and this little girl had a whole donut sitting in front of her, and I said, "Oh, you haven't eaten any of your donut." And she's like, "It's whole wheat." So, I tried it, and it was not good. So, we're hoping to relax some of that. You like our donuts?
I don't know if that's a great thing or not. We like to know all the salt and everything else. Everybody's having stress over.
A little bit maybe. I also want to point out, apparently we're a bargain because we're spending $13,000 to $14,000 per inmate. It's under $9,000 per student. Just thought I'd throw that in.
Thank you, Madonna.
Reports of standing committees. Budget finance.
I think I already covered everything earlier. Again, we'll be meeting next Tuesday at 5 o'clock.
Legislative,
No report at this time.
law enforcement,
No report.
health, welfare, and recreation.
We did our last meeting, some of our members, one of our members in particular, did a great thing, I think. We had talked about the services that the Manchester, the Humane Society, well, not the Humane Society itself, but the city, on the city side of animal control, that the employees over there have been filling in for our employees when we had, situations, and we had transition situations. That's the only way, we did honor them at our last meeting, and because of one of our thoughtful members, for sure, Rosemary had gotten plaques made, and so we did present them with plaques and our sincerest gratitude for the services they've been rendering in the absence of our side of their support, and we had a great meeting that it was good on, and we were hoping maybe they would be here tonight. We were going to try to honor them again, but we thank them sincerely for that.
Personnel and compensation.
Meeting tomorrow, 4:30.
Capital outlay.
We did meet, and as we were talking about earlier, there are a lot of expenses on these heat and air units, especially when you get into the summertime and all the heat. The 20-ton unit that the mayor was talking about was around $13,000. We had a 5-ton unit, the ambulance administration, and the school board also has one. I'm not sure what it was, but we're also having to replace the roof on the library at Tullahoma, and I don't know if the bids are supposed to be coming in this week. You got the bids, and I know some of y'all are familiar with the shape of that roof down there, and it is horrible. So, but it's got to be replaced. They've got damage and everything, but they've been working on that. But I want everybody, I'm very much appreciative of what Robert Gillum does. I hate to say anybody's can't be replaced, but we need to really take care of Robert. Robert does a great job. I want to go on record saying he is very thrifty with the money. He does a lot of work on himself that takes care of things. He saves the county a ton of how much money. But that, and let's see, July the 22nd, they're going to stripe the parking lot out here, so don't anybody plan on being here. That's on the weekend, I believe. Is that correct? July the 22nd is when that striping is going to be. And I think that's all.
And Robert and Andy, they are ordering ceiling tiles, so here in the next couple of weeks, I think they're going to be replacing in one about 500 ceiling tiles. Take care of the brown spots in the room. Thank you, Major.
Reports of special committees. Number 11, statements and announcements. Any from the commission? Public comments?
I'd like to recognize Jeff Cuellar from Bonnaroo to come and with Sam Reed to share a few thoughts. And wrapped up a long, hard week. It's been months in planning and much better event this year. And I'll steal in Jeff's thunder. And Jeff, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me. It's kind of last minute, but I had to still be in town. And I just wanted to report back, one, saying thank you for the support and for everything I know I saw. So you out there and enjoying the festival. We had probably the best weather we've ever had in the history of the event. For those first timers, maybe they just spoiled. But I did want to report that we had a 43% increase this year. So 65,000 people. And it's always a positive thing in terms of our overall economic impact. And it was just a bang-up year. We're really excited for closing this out, wrapping everything up, and being able to report some of the final numbers. I was able to deliver our check to the mayor today.
Thank you very much for that.
Really excited about where we stand and how we're looking for the future. As we know, we're in a very competitive environment in terms of festivals in Atlanta, Nashville, and we saw what was going on with Red River, Riverbend, CMAs, and we're trying to position ourselves to continue to be the leader for the next 16 years. But I want to again thank you for your support and let you know that we had a fantastic year this year in that standpoint, and we're looking forward to 16 plus more years to come. So if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer anything. The rest of my knowledge at this point in time, but I just want to report great news.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you being here. Sam being in the audience as well, and commissioners, he will be in contact with you over the next few weeks to review a few things. So that's Sam Reed right there. And appreciate you being here too. Chair will recognize Jackie Collins.
I just want to ask, I'm not sure exactly where we are or where you all are as with regard to the action on wayside papers that have been a decision or taken or passed on that issue.
In what regard, Jackie, as far as?
I mean, have you all made a recommendation of an action and voted on that?
I'll refer that to Margaret, if you want to comment on that. But on Wayside, the letter has been sent out to the residents out there concerned with a rate increase. Is that what you're referring to, or the possible sell that to another entity?
What I was referencing was Westmoreland Valley Utility taking over the position of that recommendation.
They have been approached, but they have not got back with us. They have not, to my knowledge, had any board action on that. They reviewed it, but that's the last we've heard.
Of course, I've been up here in front of you all previously speaking about this issue and the resolution which passed a couple of years ago, which we were most appreciative of. And since that time, I guess you all have heard the grapevine or otherwise that while our efforts were valiant, I'd like to think, the Supreme Court did side with the appellate court, which overturned their lower court, which in effect means that they are able to use an domain in their hand to take our land. Now, we found out after we did our conservative proceedings about some erroneous facts and figures and information that they used as a justification for using eminent domain. And unfortunately, the way that the law is once you find new material after you start to go with all the information we have in the earlier report. So we felt like that information that we discovered just really would probably put a stop and a halt to it because it was very misleading to put it nicely. But what I would just like to say to all of you, I know y'all need a monkey off your back. I know the people at Wayside Acres need a resolution and they need help. But when you get in bed with Westmoreland Bio Utility, you're going to really, this is just the tip of the iceberg that I can see. One of the reasons that they didn't want to consider an alternative site because they said they would have to come into Coffee County 2 or 3 miles further, and now they're talking about coming all the way into Wayside Acres. A lot further. I've always thought it took me a lot of tough life experiences to learn that, and you all have probably discovered that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So I'm just going to give you some facts, and I'm not going to, these are facts that can be backed up. And I have provided you all the information in the past. And some of this, I am not going to say anything that I cannot substantiate with in writing or with having you up meeting names of people that you can talk to either refute my comments or not. Westmoreland, Viola, when they agreed to put in pipeline out to serve New Union, they agreed, they signed off. This was November of 2001. They signed off on a document confirming that they had laid 6-inch diameter pipe out in the New Union area. But it was discovered they had only laid 4-inch. And so you had a county commissioner, Mr. Morton, who almost threatened to, well, he is threatening to resign if you didn't hold him accountable. And they were not held accountable, but he didn't resign. So that was in writing. They signed off on it. Okay? In March 2008, Westmoreland passed the resolution to expand it to Coffee County. And in that resolution, they stated that they would not be constructing any additional water facilities to provide service in Coffee County within the proposed expansion boundaries. Well, as we see, that's also not true. The specific service boundaries of this expansion state that Gerald Road is excluded from the service area, as are all the citizens who are currently Hillsville customers. This is in writing. That's us, Gerald Road. Hillsville customers, that's us. So again, that's in writing. In October 2010, the football office of TDEC indicated that they had a low storage capacity for water, and that if you're required to have a 24-hour emergency storage area. So they applied for a grant and started seeking a site for a new storage tank. This was based, this recommendation by TDEC was based on the facts and figures that Westmoreland had submitted to them. So, in December of 2014, Westmoreland had the Southern Standard release a comment that TDEC and the state of Tennessee mandated a new water tank. However, on review, we found that the water tank storage in 2013 was really good. We had a forensic CPA reviewed the numbers that they had submitted to TDEC in order to establish a reason for establishing this new water tank and they're taking on the property for the domain. And there were many errors and inconsistencies. In 2015, we met with some of the major players in this whole episodic adventure up at Nashville. We met with the head of TDEC, who refuted Western One's comments and said they did not mandate that they had to have any water. They absolutely refuted it. We also, Joyce Goldberg, who is the manager for the Utility Water Management Review Group, provided us with a signed statement from Tim Pelham as to several different comments, one of which there were no other tank sites. That was incorrect. And that there were, and they also stated that they have plans for additional tanks. That I believe together with them. So there's a pattern here that I think everyone should keep in mind. Whether you get it in writing or verbal, it makes no difference. Because that utility company is going to do whatever it is. Based on their past, they're going to do whatever it is they want to do and to get away with doing it. Had we had some of our information prior to our circuit court appearance and could have interjected that at the appellate and the Supreme Court, we might have had a different outcome. Might, I don't know, because it's eminent domain. But I just want to keep you all informed and let you know, and I know you all have a tough job. You're not going to please everybody. And I really appreciate all of you working, and the resolution that you passed here is not just for us, but it's support now for the other citizens of Coffee County. Because as I said, we have a signed statement that says they're going to have another tank. And they'll be coming to take somebody else's property, if not more of ours. So just keep those things in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie, for your update. Any other public comments?
Can I just add to that, just to clarify for the commission and Jackie, you also, the Water and Wastewater Authority is carrying on. We've increased the rates. Those people out there have gotten double the rates because the county is obligated due to state demands. The state is causing so many problems for this county and every other county because they set rules, they change their mind in a couple of years, they forget what's happened. The counties are the ones that are suffering. We're suffering with this situation with Wayside. We're suffering with the jail mandates. They tell us how to build a jail, and they come back and tell us that we can do it right because they've changed their mind. The public needs to know the state is wearing the counties out, and they change their minds constantly. We cannot stay in front of it, and I don't know what to do about it, but Water Wastewater Authority is stepping up to the plate, much to the dismay of those residents out there, but we have no choice. This has been an ongoing thing for 5 years, but beginning July the 1st, because the county cannot contribute money to that, which we have not done this year, but the state won't let us do that. Each utility, water utility, or any kind of wastewater utility has to support itself. It doesn't matter if the county owns it, if a private agency owns it. It's just, that's the comptroller's and state demands. So Water Wastewater Authority will be assuming that we don't, we're not staying around waiting on West Warren one way or another. We're doing what we need to do. We still support the eminent domain resolution that says that we don't want utilities coming in here and taking properties. We don't want that. It's not right. It's unfair what happened to you guys. It's a total injustice. But it seems like the courts are supporting everybody but the right people, it seems like these days. But we feel bad for you guys, but we are not standing around waiting on West Warren. And so just want to clarify that. And I don't know if they come back around. We may, work with them, but I don't see them interested in this. That's where it is.
Thank you, Margaret. Other comments from the public? Going once, going twice. Thank you for all being here this evening. Again, Jeff and Sam, thank you for being here, and the others in the public. And this is your meeting. The public is always welcome.